Hello, my name is Bradley and I'm your host of The Internal Game. Today we're going to be talking about the power of not giving a fuck, okay? So, if you really know, you guys hear me talk about this a lot, but like if you really know that life is inside first, outside second, what are you really giving a fuck about, right? Like, if you know that life is inside first, outside second, as in what you're doing in here is reflected back out there. Outside is not separate from you, right? And if you really know this, you can really step into the whole not giving a fuck aura. Because whatever is out there that you've created and you're deeming it not good or don't really like that or oh, this kind of sucks, so what? Right now, it doesn't matter. As long, all that matters is right now. And if you go within and change and make the change within, because inside first, outside second, and you stop giving a fuck about what you've already created, what you've already already created the internal experience with some fear and some worry and some doubt, whatever, and it got projected out at right out here, right? Just a reflection of inside. Then that part is good as dead now. All you have to do is really know inside first, outside second, because there's nothing to fear out there. It's only you. So I don't care if it's issues at work, issues with person, issues with money. I honestly don't care what it is. Like, you have to step into this power of not giving a fuck, because it's all changeable. And I mean all of it. Like, all of that is changeable because it's only a reflection of you. So when I think about like why do we like, you know, keep coming back to the whole, oh, this happened, there has to be a disconnect in the belief that reality is inside first, outside second. There has to be. Because if you truly knew this, you could walk throughout your day and see something and not have to react as much, or actually not have to react at all, because it's like, oh, that doesn't matter, because now it's like this. Oh yeah, I see it, I created it, whatever, so be it, person's doing that, bank looks like that, whatever looks like, okay, fair enough, I created that. Now it's like this, because inside first, outside second. Outside's not separate from you, it is you. Whatever you're seeing outside of you, person, bank accounts, stuff at the job, stuff in your, anything outside is a reflection of you. This is great news. This is wonderful news. And like I've said before, if there's any belief that you want to try to change into something, or if there's any belief that you really want to have really ingrained in your mind, it's the knowing that inside first, outside second. Literally. If you know this, all doesn't matter out there. You can go about your day, enjoying yourself, being grateful for things, actually having conversations with people and being in the moment. You can also work on goals, whatever you want to do, you can go do it without this need to like, oh my God, this is happening, I gotta affirm this, no. Once you say something's done, it's done. Granted, in the beginning, after you've kind of created what you would deem a mess for yourself, like is there a little bit more attention on, you know, the telling the new story and getting out of mind instead of believing every thought you get and things like that? Yeah, of course. But ultimately, it's just as easy as anything else. You are telling it how it is now. Because inside first, outside second. That's it. That is it. I don't care, especially with the inner conversations. I was talking to somebody about this morning on a session. Like, if you are arguing with people in your head, why? Because think about this. Again, inside first, outside second. Inner conversations dictate, they're creating your reality. Your external reality, my bad. Because again, inside first, outside second. It can't be stated enough. If you're arguing with somebody internally, again, arguing with you, with this person in mind, then that is going to become an experience at some point in the external, because you've already had the experience internally. That's it. They're reflections of you and what you've been doing internally. That's it. If you have loving conversations with somebody internally, this will also be reflected, right? So even if you're, let's just say you want your person, and that's something that you're really into. If you're living in the end, your conversations with this person in the end aren't about them loving you, and like you're not just like in your head or you're not just having conversation with them and your experience with them in your face, like, you love me, you love me, you love me, hey, you love me, hey, you love me. You're not really doing that. You're actually, hey, what are we having for dinner today? Or what would you like to eat? Hey, I saw this place downtown that I wanted to take you. Hey, have you seen that city that I sent you on the through text messages? Like, we should go check that city out sometime. Hey, what's your ideal vacation? Because we got a vacation this year we want to go on. What do you want to do? Like, hey, how's your day going? My day was pretty cool. Like, you would actually have these types of conversations, everyday, ordinary life conversations. So if you are having inner conversations, because inside first, outside second, with this person that's more aligned with stuff like this is the end. It's not so much about, oh, you love me, you love me, you love me, you love me, I'm chosen, I'm chosen, I'm chosen. No, like, you would actually have daily conversations with this person. If you're at work, like, you don't need to be arguing with them in your head. If at work, you don't need to be arguing with people in your head. This is creating the internal experience, which is then pushed out. Everyone and everything is you pushed out. So whatever you're doing internally is the actual reality. Outside is just a reflection. Please know this. And if you don't know this, please really hone in on this idea and think about it, because this is what's actually happening. This outside is not separate from you. It is you. Your inner conversation should be aligned with the end. Your views of self, like how you see yourself, like, this should be aligned from these end points that you're saying that you want, because whatever you're doing within is reflected out. And if you keep looking at the appearances, like Neville says, or like, and you reacting to the appearances, and you're judging the appearances, and you're like, or enslaved by the appearances, then you're going to keep living this particular experience because you're still entertaining it within. So it just stays. That's it. So to really know inside first, outside second, you can look at whatever is out there and say, wow, that it doesn't matter, because like, you don't have to fight it. You don't have to run away from it. You can say, oh, okay, like, I see that. All right, but like, and that makes sense. I was kind of in some not so favorable states. I can see how that happened. But like, now it is like this, because all that matters is right now and whatever I entertain from here on out. That's it. So you need to become more conscious about what's going on within. You need to be more concerned about what's going on within you as you do as what's going on out here, and you'll actually be able to start seeing some changes. You need to be able to walk through your life and not be pressed, not be stressed, not be like so fearful. Again, easier once you become stable, and you do that by not believing every thought that you get, kind of thing. You obviously want to do these things from a more stable standpoint, like I always talk about, but nonetheless, when you get there, when you get more stable, remember, inside first, outside second. You need to remember that even before that, actually. Like, again, maybe you're in a fearful state. And you're like, oh, like, I know it's inside first, outside second, but like, it's still kind of hard. Don't believe that thought. That's just a thought. Yeah, I know this, but my person, yeah, that's just a thought. Yeah, but I got this coming up, I need the money for, that's just a thought. You need to be able to work with yourself. Like, to know, hey, listen, I'm in a fearful state right now. The best thing I can do is get stable. I don't need to believe any thoughts right now. I need to really focus on like maybe some breathing, get myself together. And then from there, I need to look at everything as like that I don't like or deem unfavorable as that is dead. It is like this now. And you do that within. That's it. You have inner conversations about how things are in the now, about these different areas of your life. That's it. You got a problem at work with somebody, or an issue at work with somebody, then start having conversations in your head with them that have nothing to do with like this judgment and resentment, because that's what's getting reflected back. Have inner conversations in your head with them about like, oh, hey man, how was your day? Like, my day was pretty great, man. It's pretty cool, huh? Like, hey, how'd you like the new meeting that we went to today? The meeting was kind of cool, right? Or I don't like the meeting that much. Like, you just have conversation with them like this, and and like that lightness is going to be reflected back from them, because they're only acting like assholes or whatever because you're judging them and arguing with them and being resentful of them inside first, and then they do that next because outside is second, and they are you. So, or money, you tell favorable stories about how money is now internally first, then that's reflected. The person, doesn't matter, whatever it is, it's inside first, outside second. It cannot be stated enough. That's why Neville's always like, hey, consciousness is the only reality. This cannot be like overstated, because it can't. That's the gist here. That's the whole thing. Whatever you're conscious of, that's what's happening. Whoever you're conscious of being, whatever you're conscious of being, that's what's happening. Nothing bigger than that. Nothing bigger than you, because whatever you're conscious of, that's what's happening. So inside first, outside second. You really need to get a grip on this and think, hey, you know what? I've been walking around, if you have been, but walking around kind of like reacting to this, react to that, react to this, react to that. I'm kind of scared. All that stuff just has to go. Like, you do not want to be living your life like this. And I'm thoroughly convinced that it's because you truly have not bought into this fact that like it is inside first, outside second. If you know that, then there's nothing to trip about out there, I promise you. If you know that, you can say, man, even if that looks mad unfavorable, like it came from a previous states, previous momentum about how I was doing things, and I'm not doing that anymore, because inside first, outside second. I've said that probably 30 times already, and I could say it 30 more, because that is what is important to know. It's all coming from you and what you're doing inside, what you're entertaining, what thoughts you're entertaining, what you're believing, what meaning you're creating to things, or what meaning you're giving things, how you're seeing yourself, how you're viewing the world. All this is what's being created. Nothing out there has anything to do with something not happening or something happening. It's all you. Inside first, outside second. Always. This is the internal game that we're playing here, not the react to the external game. That's not what we're doing. We used to do that. We're not doing that anymore. So we have to boss up, take your experience, your human experience to a whole nother level, right? And you do this by really, really, really focusing on the inside. Doesn't mean you can't enjoy your day. You don't need to be walking around like, oh, this is like completely all trying to force things internally. Like, no, just enjoy yourself and call some shots from a stable place. Inside first, outside second. Focus on you. Bring the focus back to you. You got goals? Start doing the things that align with that. You got hobbies? Do those. Like, take walks. Like, I don't have any set things that I do. Like, I don't have like a certain 20-minute routine or I got a firm 10 minutes this, or I don't do any of that. Like, if I feel like taking a walk and enjoying the scenery, that's what I do. If I feel like taking a walk and listening to some music, I'll do that. If I feel like taking a walk and telling some stories about how the next experience that I want to have or whatever, then I do that. Like, there's no need to fight anything. There's no need to create a bunch of unnecessary rules for self. Like, whatever you say goes. Whatever you're entertaining in here is all that matters. That's it. So, I love you guys. But consciousness is the only reality. It's inside first, outside second. There is no outside, really, when you think about it. It's just a reflection of the inside, of you. It's a reflection of you. And again, this cannot be overstated. So, anyway, live your life. Get more stable. Don't believe every thought that you get, right? And from there, have the inner conversations with people. Have inner conversations about things. Have good intentions about things, like all that stuff. But it's all from within, and from there you'll start to see those experiences take shape in the external, because you've already experienced them in the internal. Just like you did with the arguments inside, that you ended up having an argument with somebody else, or like you're just having that not too good of a relationship with somebody because you keep resenting them and all that stuff. It's absolutely useless. If you're saying that you want a harmonious relationship with somebody, arguing with them in your head, being resentful, buying into the outside is absolutely useless. If you say that you want a promotion or something, that's what your idea is. Arguing with somebody, being fearful of the competition internally, which is creating more competition, thinking that you're not going to get it, doing all this stuff internally is useless. You have to think from the end, and you do this by knowing that it's already done, because and you know And you can know that it's already done by knowing that it's inside first, outside second. Your faith isn't in anything out there, it's in the law. And it's law that it's inside first, outside second. I love you guys. See you soon.